The cameras flashed on a quiet London street. Just a casual dog walk, an oversized t-shirt, a baseball cap pulled low. The crowd froze. Or well, yeah, the internet froze. Because right there, glinting in the paparazzi flash, was a simple gold band. And just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession. Zendaya and Tom Holland just made their secret marriage impossible to miss. Welcome, StarScope Report.
Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
So our mission for this deep dive today is honestly a massive one. We're looking at a towering stack of celebrity news reports, fashion breakdowns, and exclusive interviews.
Oh yeah, a ton of sources for this one.
Right. Stuff from People, Esquire, Elite Traveler. Because we are going to unpack the logistics, the psychology, and just the sheer media strategy behind how the two biggest stars on the planet pulled off the ultimate stealth wedding right under our noses.
It really is wild when you think about it.
It is. I'm talking about a 500,000-pound luxury countryside celebration that completely evaded the paparazzi. But, to understand the magnitude of this operation, you have to look at the breadcrumbs they left leading up to it.
Yeah, and those breadcrumbs started appearing early last year, which created this sort of slow burn tension in the press. We can really trace the inflection point to the January 2025 Golden Globes.
Oh, right, the ring.
Exactly. Zendaya stepped onto the red carpet, and within minutes, the internet just hyper-fixated on her left hand.
Yeah.
Because she debuted this striking Rachel McCormack East-West diamond ring.
And for anyone listening who doesn't, obsessively track fine jewelry, an east-west setting mounts the diamond horizontally instead of vertically. It's an incredibly architectural chic look.
It's gorgeous. But honestly, the real strategic move there was the silence.
Right.
They issued absolutely no press release. They just let the visual artifact do the heavy lifting, knowing that the media would inevitably fill in the blanks.
Which they did. And that silence held firm for over a year, which, that is an eternity in the modern pop culture cycle. But then we hit the SAG Awards in March 2026.
Oh, the Law Roach moment.
Yes. Zendaya's longtime stylist, the architect of her public image, Law Roach, was on the red carpet. And when reporters from Access Hollywood started digging, Law boldly stated, and this is a direct quote, "The wedding has already happened. You missed it."
Such a mic drop moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yet the public still largely treated it with skepticism.
Well, yeah, and I think that skepticism stems from how we've been conditioned as media consumers. We are so used to the transaction of celebrity, we expect leaked venue photos, aerial drone shots of a tent, or, I don't know, at least a leaked guest list.
Right, some kind of proof.
Exactly. Law Roach's verbal confirmation felt kind of abstract without that visual proof. It actually wasn't until Tom Holland's sit-down profile with Esquire UK in June that the narrative really shifted.
Oh my gosh, the grandma story.
Yes. He was asked about this series of viral AI-generated wedding photos that had actually tricked his own grandmother into believing she'd been left off the guest list.
Which is so funny. Tom had to frantically do damage control with his grandma, assuring her they were all there.
Right, don't worry, you didn't miss it.
Yeah. And when the interviewer pressed him, asking if he had to apologize to any other family members, Tom paused and said, "No, because they were all there." And then he just immediately slammed the door on the topic.
It was brilliant. It was this seemingly accidental confirmation that the legal, intimate ceremony was already in the books.
But what we really need to dissect today is the massive, lavish celebration that followed. Because on August 4th, 2026, they finally threw the party of the decade. And they did it at the Beaverbrook Hotel in Surrey, just outside of London.
And the choice of venue is such a crucial piece of this puzzle. Beaverbrook is this 470-acre estate that actually served as a wartime retreat for Prime Minister Winston Churchill during World War II.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it features a sprawling Victorian manor house, secluded cottages, and this amazing outdoor wild kitchen. They initiated a complete 3-day buyout of the property, securing all 56 guest rooms.
That is insane.
It really is. And the historical resonance is hard to ignore here. A venue designed to harbor wartime secrets and host covert meetings was basically repurposed to defend against the modern siege of tabloid journalism.
Which brings us to the actual logistics of securing a 470-acre perimeter.
Right.
Because, looking at the execution here, They didn't treat this like a wedding. They treated it like a corporate counter-espionage operation.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a heist movie. To lock down an estate of that size in 2026, you aren't just asking guests nicely to put their iPhones away. You are dealing with potential drone flyovers, telephoto lenses from miles away, and hundreds of staff members who could easily be offered a year's salary by the sun for just one blurry photo.
Right. And the mechanism of that secrecy is what sets this apart. To enforce a true zero-tolerance no-phone rule, you have to implement physical and digital compartmentalization, like a high-level corporate black site.
So what does that actually look like?
It means utilizing yonder pouches or locking devices for every single person on the property. It means vendors are heavily vetted, required to sign ironclad NDAs with catastrophic financial penalties, and they're given only need-to-know information upon arrival.
Wow.
Yeah. The fact that the grooming and floral teams didn't leak a single detail speaks to an intense vetting process that likely took months of quiet execution.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second, though,
Yeah.
because I have to push back a little on this prevailing narrative of the fairy tale escape.
Okay, go for it.
If you truly want to get married in absolute secret, you go to a courthouse on a random Tuesday in a sleepy town, far away from any major media hub. By renting out a £500,000 historic estate just 20 miles outside of London and inviting an army of people, you are practically begging the universe to notice.
That's a fair point.
Right, so is it possible that this extreme, expensive secrecy is actually a manufactured scarcity tactic? Like, could this be a highly orchestrated PR move designed to build mystique and generate far more media hysteria than, say, a traditional Vogue wedding spread ever could?
I mean, that is a compelling theory. Weaponized scarcity is a very real PR tactic. When you deny the media access to an event, the vacuum of information actually increases the public's appetite for it.
Exactly.
However, if we look at the specific details of the event itself, I think it points toward a genuine desire to protect the emotional core of the day.
How so?
Well, the aesthetic was reportedly incredibly grounded. Tom's brothers Sam, Harry, and Patty were in black tuxedos, and the groomsmen just wore dainty, unpretentious wildflowers tucked into their lapels.
Very low-key.
Yeah. Furthermore, Elite Traveler reported that Tom and Zendaya had been quietly frequenting the Beaverbrook golf course as far back as 2023. This wasn't a sudden, flashy choice of venue to create a spectacle. This estate had been their safe haven for years before they were even engaged.
Okay, that makes sense. So they managed to pull off the logistical miracle of the decade in total secrecy. But wait till you hear what happened just days later, when a mundane errand blew their cover completely.
Yes, the casual London stroll that literally broke the internet.
The contrast here is so cinematic. After orchestrating a flawless military-grade security operation for a Victorian estate takeover, Tom and Zendaya slipped right back into their craving for a normal, low-key life.
Right.
But normalcy is a dangerous illusion when you are A-list royalty. They stepped out to walk their dogs in London just running a standard, everyday errand, and a paparazzi lens caught them.
And the visuals of this moment are so fascinating because they run completely counter to the glamour of a £500,000 wedding. Zendaya was photographed in an oversized t-shirt, baggy blue jeans, and ballet flats.
Super casual.
Exactly. And Tom was wearing brown trousers, white sneakers, a blue t-shirt that read "Thank you for being a friend," and a red baseball cap repping his non-alcoholic beer brand, B-O. It is the absolute antithesis of red carpet styling.
And yet, this dressed-down, incredibly pedestrian dog walk delivered the undeniable proof the media had been hunting for. The photos hit page 6 and Twitter like a seismic shockwave because of one specific detail.
The flinch.
Yes, you can see the exact micro-expression on Tom's face the millisecond he realizes a photographer is there. His immediate unthinking reflex is to physically try and hide his left hand.
Yeah.
And he does it because they were both wearing matching traditional gold wedding bands.
And, you know, the psychology of that flinch is what makes the image so compelling. We are so used to seeing heavily media-trained actors presenting this perfectly curated facade to the world. But that flinch was an unscripted moment of lost control.
It really was.
It's the visual realization that despite their millions of dollars and highly funded privacy efforts, a simple afternoon coffee run had shattered their protective bubble. It grounds them as deeply human in the eyes of the public.
The reaction from the jewelry and fashion world to Zendaya's ring stack has been phenomenal too, because she kept that striking modern East-West diamond on her finger, but she anchored it with a completely minimalist, traditional gold band.
Which is such an interesting sociological shift. In an era dominated by, Instagram face, loud luxury, and these ostentatious displays of wealth, a plain gold band is almost like ancient technology.
That's a great way to put it.
It is the ultimate grounding mechanism. It roots these two global superstars back to reality, and it is already heavily influencing modern bridal fashion to pivot back toward understatement. And hey, if you're loving these Hollywood twists and uncovering the hidden mechanisms behind the paparazzi flashes, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
Definitely hit subscribe.
Because the obsession over these rings reveals a fascinating contradiction in celebrity culture. These are two individuals who crave normalcy so deeply that they dress like average 20-somethings on a weekend. Yet the very act of trying to participate in normal society is what exposed their most fiercely guarded secret.
I want to dig into that obsession, though. Let's ask you, the listener, to really think about this for a second. We already had verbal confirmation from Law Roach. We already had Tom Holland slipping up about his grandmother in Esquire.
Right.
We fundamentally knew they were married. So why did a grainy photo of a plain gold band on a dog walk break the internet? Why does the culture demand this specific visual?
I think it comes down to the hierarchy of proof in pop culture. A quote in an interview can be spun. A publicist's statement can be interpreted as a PR game. But a physical artifact, a piece of metal worn on a Tuesday while walking a dog, carries a cultural weight that words simply cannot match.
That is so true.
It removes the narrative from the polished machinery of Hollywood public relations and drops it into the messy, undeniable reality of human existence. It is the tangible proof of their commitment, caught entirely in the wild.
Well, and that's not even the wildest part. Later in this deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking box office twist that makes the timing of this wedding absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
The odds of them pulling this off when they did were literally astronomical.
Yeah, to truly appreciate the sleight of hand they pulled off this August, you have to understand the sheer scale of their fame at this exact moment. Their timeline is legendary at this point.
Oh, for sure.
Meeting in 2016 during the Spider-Man, homecoming auditions, the slow evolution of their friendship, and that viral Los Angeles car kiss in July 2021 that finally forced their romance into the public eye.
But look at the cultural landscape right this second. In August 2026.
Yeah.
Zendaya is dominating the screen in Christopher Nolan's epic The Odyssey. Concurrently, Tom Holland is leading the massive cultural juggernaut that is Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
Right.
Both of these films are out right now, actively tearing through theaters.
And the historical context here is staggering. They are the first married couple in the history of cinema to hold the top two spots at the global box office simultaneously.
It's unbelievable.
We're talking about $2 billion movies existing in the market at the exact same time, helmed by a husband and wife.
So let's break down the mechanics of what that actually means for their daily lives. Because a global press tour for $1 billion movie is an exhausting, relentlessly visible machine.
It never stops.
Exactly. For the last 2 months, they have been subjected to an endless gauntlet of red carpets, late-night interviews, and fan events. Law Roach has had Zendaya executing flawless method dressing, wearing Schiaparelli couture straight off the runway that nods to the Greek mythological themes of the Odyssey.
She looked amazing.
Incredible. But they have essentially been the center of the pop culture universe, operating at maximum bandwidth.
Which is insane because the studio demands during a window like this are usually absolute. You are expected to be accessible, bubbly, and constantly on,
Right.
which is precisely why successfully executing a secret wedding during this specific window is an unparalleled feat. Lainey Gossip astutely pointed out the logistics of this timing. The final stop on the Brand New Day press tour was in London.
Right.
So they had the world's media, satellites, trackers, and the biggest pop culture spotlight focused squarely on their every move.
And what did they do? Misdirection. It was a classic magician's trick. While the entire entertainment press corps was looking at the red carpet in central London, they utilized their immense industry leverage to simply vanish.
Just poof, gone.
Yeah. Usually, Hollywood studios demand a pound of flesh, they demand full availability. But Tom and Zendaya have reached a level of power where they could draw a firm line and say, we are taking a few days off in Surrey, and the machine will just have to wait.
And the execution of that disappearing act right at the absolute peak of their global exposure is a masterclass in protecting your peace. They didn't retreat to a bunker for a year to get married in obscurity. They executed it while they were arguably the two most famous, highly scrutinized people on the face of the earth.
It adds such an incredible layer to their lore. Because they aren't rejecting the Hollywood system or hiding from their fame, they are simply enforcing a non-negotiable boundary. They will give the public The blockbuster movies, the high-fashion red carpet moments, and the entertaining talk show anecdotes. But the core of their relationship, they refuse to make that transactional.
Law Roach actually addressed this exact boundary at the Brand New Day premiere in Los Angeles. When a reporter from Complex asked if the couple planned to host a second, more public wedding for the industry, Law shut it down immediately.
Good for him.
Yeah, and his response was incredibly revealing. He said, "I think people should congratulate them. It's two young, beautiful, successful people that are in love, and they had a private wedding, and they got away with it."
They got away with it. I mean, that phrasing is everything. He frames their privacy not as a given right, but as a hard-won victory.
Exactly.
It's an acknowledgement that the media machine usually devours celebrity relationships,
Yeah.
and securing this one moment for themselves was a heist they successfully pulled off against the house.
And when you examine Tom's quotes about Zendaya, you understand the psychology behind why they fight so aggressively for that boundary. In that same Esquire interview, he noted, "Our business can present very stressful situations, and it's really nice to have a bedrock of a relationship that will stand the test of time."
Which makes total sense because the environment they operate in is inherently destabilizing.
Yeah.
The constant travel, the public scrutiny, the pressure of carrying billion-dollar franchises.
Yeah, and he went on to say, "I found my person, she's my best friend, and I'm the happiest I've ever been when I'm with her, but I've also never felt so supported and safe, ever. Period."
Wow, supported and safe.
Right. That encapsulates the entire mission of the Beaverbrook lockdown. When your daily reality involves standing in the blinding flash of paparazzi cameras, you need to ensure the person holding your hand remains your uncompromised sanctuary. And hey, stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next on StarScope Report.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the source material, I think we need to look at the broader cultural implications of what they've done. Because Zendaya and Tom Holland haven't just pulled off a secret marriage. They have fundamentally challenged and rewritten the rules of modern celebrity engagement.
Oh, without a doubt. We're living in an era defined by extreme oversharing. Stars regularly live stream their weddings in exchange for brand sponsorships. Exclusive magazine deals dictate who gets the first photograph of the bridal gown, and relationships are routinely leveraged for social media clout and algorithmic engagement.
Right.
The traditional celebrity wedding exclusive has felt almost mandatory for A-listers over the past 2 decades.
Yeah, I mean, you think back to the early 2000s, selling wedding photos at tabloids for millions of dollars was the ultimate status symbol.
It is true.
Then it shifted to the highly curated Vogue exclusive. But Tom and Zendaya are signaling a massive paradigm shift.
They really are.
By locking down that estate and keeping the photos in their private camera rolls, they are proving that in 2026, the ultimate luxury isn't a magazine cover or maximum exposure. The ultimate luxury is absolute, unbothered privacy.
And it raises a really provocative question for you to mull over as we sign off. If extreme privacy is the new ultimate status symbol, does that mean oversharing is now officially a marker of lower-tier celebrity?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Right. Are we entering an era where monetizing your wedding or broadcasting your private milestones is viewed as something only influencers and reality stars do? By refusing the transaction of fame, have Tom and Zendaya made the highly publicized celebrity wedding obsolete for the Gen Z Hollywood elite. It is a fascinating sociological shift that will undoubtedly ripple through the industry for years to come.
It really is the ultimate power move. And, it brings us right back to that quiet London street. They didn't need a massive PR campaign or a glossy magazine spread to validate their relationship to the world. All it took was a casual dog walk, a micro-expression of surprise, and the flash of a camera catching a glint of gold to change the Hollywood playbook forever. You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood music and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.